I'm going to show you how to make the best homemade mincemeat from scratch. It's so easy. All you need is just a bit of time and a lot of dried fruit. Let's get into it. This homemade mincemeat is so good, you'll never want to go back to the supermarket stuff again. So, what are we going to need to put this together? Really not much at all. A bowl is the main thing, basically as big as you can get. I'm going to do a lot. You could easily halve this recipe if you don't want to make so much. Cup measurers and or scales, some kind of knife. I've also got an apple corer, and then you need various jam jars to put the mincemeat into once it's ready. But we won't actually need those until tomorrow. Okay, so ingredients wise, this is super easy because if you do it in cups, most of it is the same volume. The weights will vary a little bit. And if you want to check out the recipe in the description below, you'll see the equivalent in grams. But it's 2 packed cups of dark brown sugar, 2 cups of currants, 2 cups of dried cranberries. Now you could put fresh cranberries, but then you'd need double the amount. 2 cups of raisins, 2 cups of chopped apricots. You could also use candied peel, 2 cups of sultanas, and 2 cups of suet. Now suet is a bit of a funny one. It's quite unique to the UK. You might be able to find it in America or elsewhere, but it's worth going the extra mile. If you can't find it, you could replace it with butter, which you'd probably want to melt ahead of time. Then what else? Half a cup of almonds, 4 teaspoons of mixed spice. And again, if you can't find that, it's quite easy to make your own. I'll put the quantities in the description below. Then we've got 2 apples, 2 oranges, and 2 lemons. And then finally, we'll need 6 tablespoons of brandy. Now I'm actually using Armagnac, but anything, that kind of thing. I'm being told Armagnac is a brandy. What do I know? Okay, so this is actually the easiest thing to do in the world. It's basically everything, all these dry ingredients. So the raisins, the sultanas, the currants, cranberries, the apricot, the suet, brown sugar and spices all go into that bowl, like that. Then I'm going to give these almonds a quick blitz. I realized I didn't tell you that you needed this. You could do without. Just like that. We're not after ground almonds. There still need to be big chunks like that. That goes in too. Then we're going to chop these apples up. Love doing that. And don't worry about peeling these. So it needs to be quite small. I should have said you could actually grate these. They go in. Then we need to zest and squeeze these citrus fruit. And I realized I didn't put this in my list of kit earlier. This is a microplane and a squeezer, obviously. Now I should just point out, you could use a grater to do this, a fine grater, but I find these microplanes so much better. The downside of it is they are super, super sharp. So you've got to be really careful. And also a top tip when you're doing this is not to just grate in one spot, but to turn as you grate. It's the same with a grater. If you turn as you grate, then you get more surface area. Okay, that's it. The other top tip is to always zest your oranges or lemons before squeezing them. That's a That's an annoying mistake you don't want to make. And there it is. Okay, so then just give everything a really good mix. And that's pretty much it for now. It's already looking like mincemeat, but it's not quite finished. So we're going to leave that overnight, just kind of cover it with a tea towel and let those flavors really develop. Okay, so it's the next day. Let's take a look at our mincemeat. Ooh, it's looking a bit sad, but we'll give it a little mix. And as you see, it's soaked up a lot of those juices. Now, this is the bit which is a bit different from other mincemeat recipes. I confess it's a Delia way. You just want to loosely cover with some foil. Now this shouldn't be touching the mincemeat. And then that's going to go into a low preheated oven. So it's 120 Fahrenheit, which is about 120 Celsius, which is 225 Fahrenheit. 120 Fahrenheit would be very low. For about 3 hours. Okay, that's been 3 hours. Let's take a look. Okay, looking a bit different. So just give it a stir. See, it's all quite fatty, but don't worry about that. It smells absolutely amazing. That we're just gonna let cool down almost completely, but it needs to get quite a bit cooler before we can jar it up. Okay, I've just put my jam jars that I pre-washed, put those in the same low oven to sterilize. Now there are other ways of sterilizing, but that's the easiest way I find. Next, brandy time. 6 tablespoons of brandy go into this mincemeat. It's still a bit warm, to be honest, but it's cool enough to have. Oh gosh, we'll call it 6, I think so. And then another stir around. Let's bottle up. You basically, I'm already making a mess. Basically need a spoon that can fit inside the jar. It's not an easy thing to jar up. Yeah, so as you've seen, it's quite easy to miss the jar completely without a jam funnel. So I always get a clean, damp cloth and wipe those edges thoroughly before putting on the lids so you get a really good seal on the jar. This one isn't completely full, but it doesn't matter because I'm about to use it in my mince pies. So actually you could check out that video if you haven't already. There it is, guys. So these will keep, you can make these, months ahead of Christmas. They'll even keep years. I've been having these few little bits that have fallen on the side, and I can confirm this mincemeat is amazing. So I hope it works well for you. Those lids want to go on straight away. Let me know how it goes in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe. I've done a couple here that are in some nice old-fashioned Bon Maman jars because actually mincemeat makes for a really good gift. Homemade mincemeat. All right. Happy Christmas.